Capitol as Representatives Nancy Pelosi, Carolyn McCarthy, and others talk about the gun violence in Connecticut last week and the reintroduction of the assault weapons ban. Live coverage here on C-SPAN.
Many other Americans want to see the high-capacity assault weapon magazines be banned, the assault weapons off our streets. They don't want to see the weapons of the war on our streets and our communities. And of course, no single piece of legislation is going to solve everything. We need to look at things holistically. I spent my life as a nurse before I came here, and you always have to look at things holistically. So join us, because this time it is different. I want to say that most of you know that I've been fighting this issue for over 18 years. And each time it gets harder and harder for many of my colleagues. Because we go home and we face these constituents. We go to their funerals. And then a couple of months, no one's talking to them. I continue talking to them, especially around the holidays, because they don't go away. We go on with our lives, and we do go on with our lives, but the pain is always there. This is only a small portion of our friends that will be fighting to save lives here in America. Each and every one of them will do their jobs. We will follow the President's Commission on Education, Mental Health, and all the other things that need to be done to keep us safe. And it's like a puzzle. You got to put everything together to have it work. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Leader. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I'm Congresswoman Diana DeGette from the 1st District of Colorado. Columbine's in my district now, and Aurora's right down the street from my house. And as you can hear from all of us, and as you can see on our faces, even today, the horror of Newtown remains unspeakable. And as Congresswoman McCarthy said, we've been here before, over and over again, calling for action after these terrible massacres. But as she also said, this time is different. This time we had 20 little beautiful angels and their teachers taken from us. And finally, our nation seems to realize collectively that it's the time to have a deep national conversation. Now is the time for a comprehensive solution, one that talks about our violent culture, our mental health system, and that talks about really doing something about gun violence. When we return in January, we are all planning to work hard together on a solution, on all of those solutions. But right now, we can do something this week before Congress leaves. We can pass legislation that will be a first and a reasonable step to help protect our children and to help show that Congress has the will to begin stopping these massacres. This week, we can bring to the floor a bill that Congresswoman McCarthy and I introduced some months ago, co-sponsored by so many of our friends here today and who aren't here today, that would ban the types of assault ammunition clips that were used last Friday, that were used by the shooter in Aurora this summer, and that have been used in far too many massacres in this nation. My view is this: we can probably never stop a disturbed individual completely from taking a gun and going into a school or a shopping mall or a store parking lot and trying to shoot people. But we can give those victims a fighting chance. We can give those victims a fighting chance when that assaulter stops to reload, to take them down like they did when our friend and former colleague Gabby Giffords was shot. Now, just to show you how this dialogue really has changed, a group of us started Monday when we got back here, trying to get some more co-sponsors for Congresswoman McCarthy's and my bill. And in just over 24 hours, we've picked up 21 co-sponsors. And we believe that we'll have even more by the end of today. Sadly, none of those co-sponsors are Republicans. And we have approached many of our Republican friends and colleagues. Some of them say they're thinking about it, and we hope they think hard about it. And we hope Speaker Boehner will bring this bill to the floor by this Friday. It would send a message to the moms, to the dads, to the people of this country that we're serious. And there's one more thing that needs to happen now as we prepare for the holiday season. Every single American who cares about this issue needs to pick up the phone, needs to call their member of Congress, and needs to ask them, where do you stand? We need to see what you're going to do and who you stand with to stop this terrible gun violence that's killing our children in America. Thank you. Now I'd like to call on Congressman Mike Thompson.
That's great.